The ocean looks calm, almost peaceful, but something is wrong, terribly wrong. A boat drifts slowly across the water with no one on board. No voices, no movement, no signs of struggle. It's as if every passenger simply stood up and vanished into thin air. Their belongings are untouched. Their meals are still on the table. But the people, gone. This is the moment the quiet sea turns into a mystery that pulls you in and refuses to let go. The sun rises over the harbor, throwing gold over the waves, but the beauty of the morning doesn't match what the Coast Guard finds. A medium-sized leisure boat floats alone, gently bumping against a rock formation as if asking for help. The first officer to board steps carefully, expecting to see people relaxing inside or maybe someone calling for assistance. But the deeper he walks into the boat, the stranger everything becomes. Every seat is empty. Every cabin is silent. It feels like the whole place is frozen in time. Coffee cups sit half full on the table, still warm enough to show that the passengers couldn't have left long ago. A deck chair lies on its side, not thrown, not broken, just moved, like someone stood up in a hurry. A jacket hangs neatly on the railing, placed there as if someone planned to return for it. Phones, purses, sunglasses, all the usual things passengers bring on a short trip remain untouched. Nothing is stolen. Nothing is damaged. And that only makes the mystery heavier. The officer calls for backup, but his voice shakes slightly. He has seen boats left unattended before, but never like this. There is no chaos, no crash, no emergency flare. It's too calm, too clean. As if whatever happened didn't take time. As if it swept through the boat silently and took every single person with it. Even the smallest detail feels wrong. The radio is still on, playing soft static. The engine is off, but the key is still in place. The safety ring hangs on its hook, untouched. Within minutes, more officers arrive. They spread out across the boat with growing confusion. One stops at a set of wet footprints on the deck, footprints that travel a few steps, then end abruptly. The prints are small, maybe from a woman or a teenager, and they lead toward the railing. But there is nothing beyond it. No sign of someone slipping. No handprint. No splash mark. It looks unnatural, like the person simply dissolved into the air. For a moment, the team wonders if it's a cruel prank. Maybe the passengers jumped overboard and swam to shore. But the waters are cold, the distance too far, and the timing too tight. A prank doesn't explain the warm drinks, the ongoing radio, the abandoned belongings. One officer breathes deeply and whispers something no one wants to hear. It's like they were taken. The boat is brought back to the mainland for inspection. Word spreads quickly. Locals gather at the docks, talking in hushed voices. Some blame the tides. Some blame pirates. A few even whisper about legends of the sea. But the experts know this isn't nature or rumor. It's calculated. It's intentional. And the person solving this mystery must look past the surface and see what everyone else misses. This is when Hudson and Rex step into the picture, but they don't know yet that this case will test them like never before. Everything about this boat feels like a message. And the message is simple. The truth is hidden somewhere in the silence it left behind. Detective Charlie Hudson arrives at the dock with a steady calm that hides the weight on his mind. He has handled countless strange cases, but the emptiness of this boat feels different. It isn't just a crime scene, it's a puzzle that refuses to speak. Beside him stands Rex, alert, ears raised, nose twitching as if he already senses something the rest of them can't. While the officers talk about theories and impossible guesses, Hudson walks forward with quiet focus. He doesn't need noise or panic. He needs the truth, and the truth always starts with what others overlook. The moment Hudson boards the boat, he feels it an atmosphere so still that even the air seems to hold its breath. He moves through the narrow hallway, noticing details in ways only a seasoned detective can. A glass on the counter carries a tiny vibration, meaning the boat moved recently. A thin layer of dust on a shelf shows no sign of disturbance, so whatever took place didn't happen during a struggle. Everything around him tells a story. but the story is missing its most important part, the people who were here. Rex walks ahead, nose skimming close to the floorboards. He pauses at a doorway and lets out a low, steady sound, almost like a warning. Hudson pays attention immediately. Rex never reacts without reason. He kneels beside him and notices something small tucked under the bench, a torn piece of fabric, thin enough to come from a passenger's clothing. It's caught in a wooden splinter, as if someone brushed past quickly. Hudson lifts it, examines the torn edge, and gently pockets it. One clue, one starting point. Moving deeper into the cabin, Hudson sees a phone left on a seat. It's unlocked, the screen paused on a video. He taps it lightly. The last recorded seconds show shaky footage of the ocean, then a sudden jolt, followed by muffled sounds, voices blurred, footsteps rushing, and then silence. The video ends abruptly. Hudson rewinds it, listening again. In the background, he hears a faint metallic clang, too sharp and too quick to be natural. Something or someone else was on this boat. Outside, Rex begins pulling toward the deck. Hudson follows, trusting the dog more than any human instinct. Rex stops near the railing where the footprints ended earlier. He sniffs, then looks toward the water, but the scent trail doesn't go overboard. Instead, Rex moves left, toward the storage compartment near the rear of the boat. Hudson opens it and finds something chilling, a small smear of grease, the kind used on heavy equipment, not recreational gear. The passengers had no reason to access anything like this. Someone else used this area. Someone prepared. Hudson's mind starts piecing things together. The fabric, the strange sound in the video, the footprint trail ending mid-deck, the grease in the storage compartment, none of it matches a normal disappearance. This isn't nature, and it's not panic. It's controlled, organized. Every detail suggests the passengers were moved quickly, quietly, and with a purpose. But how and why leave the boat behind as if offering it as a clue? Rex suddenly barks, sharp and focused. Hudson turns, and Rex is staring at the boat's railing again, but this time not at the water at the gap between the metal bars. Hudson walks over and notices a tiny dent in the railing, almost invisible, caused by something hooking onto it with force. A cable or mechanical arm could have latched on here. Something strong enough to pull. Something designed for extraction rather than rescue. Hudson steps back and lets the thought settle. Whatever happened here was not accidental. Someone or something boarded this boat, took the passengers, and left behind the cleanest chaos he has ever seen. And now, as the cold wind blows across the deck, he knows this case is only beginning. Rex sits beside him, waiting for the next move. Hudson looks down at him and nods. "Let's find out who did this," he murmurs. Because if the passengers were taken alive, time is already running out. The investigation moves from the dock to the forensic lab, but the mystery does not get any easier. The empty boat sits under bright lights, stripped of the calm it once had on the water. Every inch is being studied, scanned, and tested, yet the answers remain frustratingly thin. Hudson stands with his arms crossed, eyes fixed on the board where each clue is pinned like a piece of a broken story. Rex sits nearby, watching the teamwork, as if waiting for the moment when all the confusion finally makes sense. The first clue the technicians analyze is the torn fabric Hudson found earlier. What looks simple at first becomes strange upon closer inspection. The fibers are stretched in a direction that indicates quick movement, but not the kind caused by running or falling. It's a forced pull. Someone grabbed the person wearing it and yanked them with enough pressure to tear the cloth, but not enough to leave other signs of struggle. Even more unsettling, the type of fabric matches a life vest, yet all the vests on the boat are accounted for. That means this scrap belongs to a vest brought from outside, not from the boat itself. Whoever boarded the vessel came prepared. The next clue is the greased smear found in the storage compartment. The analysis confirms it's a thick industrial lubricant, the type used on heavy machinery cranes, hauling arms, extraction tools. Definitely not the kind of grease used on private leisure boats. Hudson's head lowers slightly as he thinks. if an external machine latched onto the railing. As the dent suggests, then the people were lifted or dragged off with precision. The work is too clean to be random crime, too structured to be impulsive. Someone planned this. Someone with equipment powerful enough to move humans without leaving behind chaos. Then there's the phone video. The audio technicians isolate the background, sound the sharp metallic noise. After hours of replaying and enhancing, they determined it came from a metal locking arm snapping into place. That kind of sound doesn't come from fishing gear or boat accessories. It's the sound of a mechanical grabber or magnetic clamp attaching to a surface. Hudson listens closely, eyes narrowing every time he hears the subtle click. It is the signature of machinery that belongs not on a pleasure boat but on a vessel built for tasks much more serious. Suddenly, a lab expert calls Hudson over with something new. It's the footprints from the deck, those unsettling tracks ending abruptly. The team discovers that the prints were drying, meaning the feet stepped in water recently, but the water was not from the ocean. It has traces of chlorine and something else. A faint smell of a cleaning chemical used in industrial facilities, not in open water. That means the person who left those footprints came from somewhere else before appearing on the boat. They were not running from danger, they were being moved out. As the team connects the clues, the image becomes darker. The boat didn't lose passengers randomly. Someone extracted them. But the question that bothers everyone the most is why the belongings were left untouched. Criminals usually take valuables or leave signs of panic. But here, everything is placed exactly as the passengers left it. It feels intentional, almost like the kidnappers wanted the discovery to be noticed. Like they wanted the boat to be found. Hudson walks back onto the boat to feel the space again. He retraces the passengers' last steps, imagining them enjoying their trip, laughing, taking pictures, unaware of the machinery closing in on them. He places a hand on the railing, staring at the dent that now tells a terrifying story. Rex trots beside him, sniffing the spot again. After a moment, Rex lifts his head, gaze fixed toward the open sea with an intensity that sends a chill through Hudson. There's a scent trail of faint. Distant one, but it leads into the direction of deep waters where larger ships pass. Hudson realizes something unsettling. The passengers weren't taken by someone hiding on the boat. They were taken by someone approaching from outside, possibly from another vessel. A vessel large enough to use industrial tools. A vessel that could hide in plain sight. The idea lands heavy in Hudson's chest. Whoever took those people is no amateur. They are organized, well-equipped, and confident enough to leave behind a perfect mystery. Hudson feels the pressure of time weighing on him. If the passengers are alive, they're being held somewhere far from the shore. Somewhere planned long before the boat ever left the dock. Rex nudges Hudson's leg, as if reminding him that waiting is not an option. Hudson looks down at him and quietly says what both of them already know. We're missing something, but we'll find it. And with that, the case shifts from confusion to determination. The clues may be silent, but they are starting to speak, and Hudson is ready to listen to every whisper they offer. The deeper Hudson digs, the more the case begins to shift from a simple disappearance to something far more calculated. The clues don't point to nature, chance, or panic. They point to people who knew exactly what they were doing and left behind the faintest traces like taunts. Hudson stands in the briefing room, a large board filled with maps, photos, and time stamps. For the first time since the investigation began, shapes start to form. The shadows are turning into suspects. Not one, not two, multiple possibilities, each more unsettling than the last. The first line of suspicion falls on a group of offshore workers who operate near the cruise path. Their company has a clean record, but recently one of their transport ships disappeared from radar for several hours on the same night the passengers vanished. Official reports claim it was a technical error, but Hudson doesn't believe in conveniently timed glitches. He reviews satellite imagery. A large vessel was spotted moving unusually close to the missing boat's route. Its lights were off, and its speed pattern shows sudden stops, behavior not typical for a cargo ship. Whoever was controlling that vessel knew how to stay hidden. Then there's a second suspect, a smuggling crew operating quietly along the coast. Their activities rarely make headlines, but whispers about them flow through police channels. They are known for using industrial tools to load cargo quickly in the dark. Tools strong enough to match the clamp signature found on the railing. But smuggling groups want goods, not innocent passengers. Unless Hudson considers the passengers saw something they weren't supposed to see, turning them into targets instead of bystanders. It's a chilling possibility, but not impossible. Another lead emerges from the torn piece of fabric. A specialized outdoor brand manufactured the material used mostly in survival suits and safety gear worn on research or deepwater vessels. The average tourist wouldn't own one, so why would that fabric appear on a leisure boat? Hudson contacts the company, and they confirm something alarming. A recent bulk order was placed by an unknown beer using incomplete identification. The order was collected, yet the listed shipping company denies ever receiving it. Someone used false credentials to obtain safety gear that could be used to transport people without alerting authorities. Hudson circles another suspect on the board. A wealthy investor known for shady dealings, someone who funds sea operations that look legitimate on paper but have hidden layers. This man owns a private vessel equipped with heavy machinery similar to what the investigation identifies. Recently, he has been under quiet surveillance for illegal activities involving human assets, though nothing has ever been proven. If his ship crossed paths with the missing boat, the passengers might have become collateral in one of his secret operations. But the most disturbing suspect isn't a person, it's a pattern. Hudson lays out all the information and notices something unsettling. This disappearance mirrors 3 other mysterious ocean incidents from the past 5 years. Small pleasure boats found drifting, belongings left behind, people gone without warning. Each case occurred in different regions, but each had the same eerie trademarks: quiet, clean, controlled extractions. Those cases were labeled as accidents or unconfirmed tragedies. But now, with this boat, Hudson sees the pattern clearly. Someone has been operating for years, taking people without leaving clear evidence. And they're getting better, smarter, bolder. While Hudson studies the suspects, Rex sniffs a small sealed bag on the table, the chemical sample collected from the wet footprints. The lab finally delivers the full result. The chemical is used in one specific type of facility, a private marine research station located far offshore, beyond regular patrol routes. Hudson's eyes sharpen. This facility is known for taking in special projects and keeping their operations quiet. Too quiet. If the passengers were taken there, finding them will be extremely difficult. The suspects are no longer names on a page, they're threads leading into the dark. Each possibility connects to a different type of danger, each one capable of making people disappear without a trace. Hudson feels the urgency rising like a tide. Whoever did this did it with purpose, resources, and confidence. And time is slipping. He turns to Rex, who watches him with unwavering focus. Hudson kneels beside him, speaking softly but firmly, "We're close, partner." Someone out there knows exactly what happened. And we're going to find them. The case isn't just about missing passengers anymore. It's about stopping a force that has operated in silence far too long. And Hudson knows once he uncovers the truth, the people responsible won't be hiding in the shadows for much longer.